Hey, it's Jeff Knutson, the Red Sea Max guy from Orange Park, Florida. Guys, it's been a lot of months since I updated my videos, and you guys have been kind enough to keep watching and subscribing and sending me emails. And I have been a bad boy and haven't been keeping my account very current or up to date. So I apologize. I'm going to do a little update video on the tank, tell you a few things that I've changed that have gone on, a few things I've lost, a few things I've gained, and etc. So, as I've done in the past, I'm going to flip the camera around, show you the tank, tell you what's going on, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so there's the tank. Hasn't changed a whole lot. It is a Red Sea Max 250, 67-gallon tank, saltwater aquarium. It's self-contained, and just going to give you a couple of updates on the life in the tank. As you may remember, I had a pair of black clownfish. There were false perks. They were fairly large, and they were false perks that were tank raised. And they never actually hosted in anything in the tank. Normally they'll host in an anemone of some type. And for months and months and months went by and nothing happened. Then all of a sudden they decided they wanted the anemone that my true perks, the little orange Nemo clowns, had been in for forever, ever since I got the percolas and the anemone. Over here you can see it right there. They decided they wanted it. So we had a little war of the worlds with the percolas, and I decided, since they didn't seem to want to get along and didn't look like there was going to be any resolution to it, I took them out of the tank and took them back to the fish store. So that's one change. You may notice I also had two nice brain corals that sat on the bottom of the tank there on each side of that scalemia in the middle, the red coral in the middle. Those started to harden up and die, and guys, I don't know what caused them to go. I don't know if it was lighting, if there was some kind of bacteria in the tank that took them out, if there was snails or whatever eating away at them. But anyway, a little inventory of the tank. As you can see, I've got a number of different types of coral. I've got hammer coral, I've got torch coral, I've got some leather, mushroom, toadstool, the scalemia there in the middle. I've got some Galaxia coral, the green down there in the bottom left-hand corner. I also have a couple of anemones. You also may remember that during the last video I had a green bubble tip, a real nice green bubble tip. I have never had a whole lot of trouble with anemones moving in the tank, but he decided to move and got in a battle with the torch coral. He kept getting beat up. I kept moving him back. He kept moving back to the area where the torch was, and eventually lost that war. So I have a Sabia anemone, the brownish colored one, the large one there on the left. There's also a Condi anemone, the green one right next to him. They don't have any issue with one another, so they're kind of just hanging out there and growing and growing. And then up at the top, you can't hardly see it, right up in that area right there, you can kind of see I have a multicolored, kind of a burgundy carpet anemone. And he found his way to the top of the tank, attached himself to a rock, and that's where he's stayed since the day I've gotten him. So anyway, as far as the tank goes, it is the Red Sea Max 250, as I said. I've changed a few things in the tank since the last video. I have gotten rid of all of the filtration media, that being the carbon and the hard media that comes with the tank, the porcelain style or ceramic style media, and I'm just letting the rock and the sand do the filtering for me. I've had no problems with nitrates. Phosphates are good. So the rock seems to be filtering the tank well. Everything stays in line. There are a couple of things I want to point out with this system. It does have a protein skimmer that is very, to say the least, very, very temperamental. Every time you do a water change, every time you do any kind of change within the tank, you almost have to dial it in again and It does stay dialed in most of the time, but once in a while you have to adjust it. That would be one of the faults that I can find with the tank. The other thing, and it's not really a fault of the tank, but this tank, and maybe this is true with all saltwater tanks, has an evaporation issue. I probably add 2 gallons of salt or 2 gallons of water to the tank a week. Now, if you're new to the hobby or considering getting in the hobby, remember to check your salinity before you go adding water if you've had evaporation, because when water evaporates from a saltwater tank, the salt stays in the tank. Therefore, raising the salinity level in the water that's left in the tank. So 90% of the time, you do not have to do anything but add fresh water to the tank. And that's been the case. I can't remember the last time I've had to add salt water to the tank other than maybe doing a water change, which, by the way, I do a lot less frequently. I have found that by the time the water evaporates down to the place where I've got to add 4 to 5 gallons, that pretty much acts as a 10% water change anyway, and that happens, like I said, every couple of weeks. So I have not had to do a whole lot of water changes. Other than that, I love the tank. As you can see, it looks really good. I've had, since the last video, no water issues. Phosphates are good, calcium's good, nitrates, all the other normal stuff you would test for have stayed in line. So I really haven't had to do any adjusting, and everybody seems to be pretty happy. Now, I have added a couple of fish, and they're not making themselves available to this video, but when I got rid of the black clowns, I did get a couple of gobies. They are striped or rainbow gobies. I've seen them called a couple different things on different websites. They kind of have burrowed in under the rocks and do come out, but they're very skittish fish, and if there's a lot of activity around the outside of the tank, they just kind of burrow in and stay where they live. So we don't see them too much. I did, as I said, add that other anemone when I lost the bubble tip, and I did add the carpet anemone. Beyond that, I haven't done a whole lot with the coral. I have fragged a couple of pieces of coral. I've had to frag both the torch and the hammer corals. And as you can see, this colony of polyps right here has grown and grown and grown. If you look at one of the older videos, you'll see that it's probably 4 times the size that it was when the tank was new. So that being said, everything is moving along smoothly. Still love the tank. Again, other than the few little idiosyncrasies with the skimmer and changing out the media. The one thing I have found is that I never, ever, ever have had to use the heater. As you know from my previous videos, I did buy a chiller. So beyond that, guys, I would highly recommend this tank system for whatever level you are. And I will promise you this, I will make more videos more frequently moving forward. So have a great one, and I'll see you soon on YouTube.